The mythical place of Atlantis holds many mysteries. In this presentation, we will explore a few of them. The ancient philosopher Plato was the one who told the story of Atlantis in 360 BC. He was born in 428 BC around Athens, Greece. As a young man, he was a popular wrestler, but after a hip injury, he became a popular philosopher. Plato was one of the most famous philosophers ever, but he wasn't a historian. He also wasn't a poet or storyteller who was trying to keep the old myths of Greece alive. He was interested in why the world exists and what it's made up of and what the best kind of government was and how people could live happy lives. He usually wrote in dialogues or conversations where two or more people talked about important physiological issues. He mentions Atlantis in two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. Those are the names of the people he talks to in each dialogue. His real name was Aristicles, son of Ariston. Sadly, he ended up dying around 348 BC at 80 years old. A place called Azores, which is the island west of Spain's coast, was suspected to be the site of Atlantis. But research has revealed a new place, in between Spain and Morocco waters. Most historians throughout history have come to the conclusion that the lost kingdom Atlantis was fake and later created it as a story to show what a utopian civilization would look like and be like. Atlanteans were most likely very strong, dedicated, and virtuous to their city. The city of Atlantis was considered a utopian civilization because of how he controlled the water to make sure they had lots of fish, also provided shelter, and could live as long as nothing interfered with the city. Apparently, Atlantis was over 1 million square miles big. In comparison, America is around 4 million square miles big. Atlantis supposedly lies around 1,400 and 1,500 meters below sea level. For reference, the Titanic is around 12,500 feet below sea level. There are many crazy theories, considering that we don't know if it's even real or not. Even so, some of these theories get as crazy as things like Atlantis was Antarctica, and the Bermuda Triangle somehow swallowed Atlantis. Some theories have gotten debunked, like the theory about how a rock formation named Bimini Road underwater that looked man-made led to Atlantis. But scientists have evaluated these structures and found them to be natural beach rock formations. There are some more popular theories, one of them being that the volcano next to the Greek island of Thera erupted and sank Atlantis because of how big the eruption was. A less popular theory, but maybe still possible, is that Atlantis is just in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. One of the most plausible theories is that Atlantis is past the Strait of Gibraltar, or else known as the Pillars of Hercules. I personally think that Atlantis is a myth. Let's say it was. My theory would have to be that Poseidon was in love with a woman and made Atlantis for her. Then the Parthians invaded Atlantis and it got destroyed. Apparently, Poseidon and the woman Cleido's love is what held the city together. During the war against Atlanteans and Parthians, Cleido ran away and Poseidon didn't care about the city anymore. Now that I have told you about Atlantis, what do you think? Do you think it's real? Here is a fun fact about Atlantis. There were 10 rulers or kings of Atlantis. The 10 rulers were his 10 sons at the time: Atlas, Gadirus, Amphores, Avaimon, Menesis, Autothon, Elapsius, Mestor, Azes, and Diaprepes. But there couldn't be 10 kings for one place, so Atlantis was split up into 10 different parts so each king could rule one part of Atlantis.